Hello guys and welcome back to my Aragon campaign, where the goal is to reach 1 million income, but first we need to finish our world conquest, and as you can clearly see, it's going pretty nicely. We just have a coalition sitting on our hat, but we're going to take care of this. The second biggest great power is currently Sweden, and the war score cost is just 290%, so 3 wars. And this is the biggest country that we will have to deal with. In 2 years my truce with them is ending, so of course that's what I'm going to do. And today I'm going to start with first of all taking care of Papal, so I need to eliminate all the nations that could join the coalition, but they can't yet because they have a truce. Plus, of course, they have allies, like for example Papal has Patani as an alliance, which is in the coalition, so we can get rid of such nations in the coalition. Same thing I can do with Moscow. Moscow is a tributary state of Transoxiana, so I can get rid of Transoxiana in the coalition and then attack them, for example, while being at war with Sweden. So that's probably the best way that we'll have to deal with this coalition. We just stop being a papal controller, which is not that bad news, because what is weird, a papal controller cannot get the Saint Papal legate for the diplomatic reputation. So right now I can click it, so I'll be annexing my vassals quicker. And I had 50% chance to become a pope. I'll just spend all of this, and I need to be pope later, because as you can remember, it's giving us things like more diplomats, things like a expansion impact, and most importantly tech cost, because I think the tech cost is the only mechanic that we still really need. The rest, they're useful, but not anymore in our situation. Now I can piece out Transoxiana. I'm breaking the relations with Afghanistan, Avaria and Sindh. So just get freaking critical of them, and those boys can already start preparing for the war with Sweden, because it will not be an easy war, and I think at least 4 stacks will be needed to deal with them. We have even more, so we'll probably be sending 6 stacks versus this nation. This truce ends in less than 2 years. I can now piece out Moscow. I could, but the question is, as you can see, I'm still coring a couple of provinces. I have a mission that will give me 50 admin points if I do so. The problem is I need to reoccupy this province. So let's get an access from Congo. Fortunately I can do that. And let's get there. Finally, thanks to mission towards, the coalition started disappearing. Because I have truce with a couple of new nations. I got the truce with Patani, with Transoxiana, and with Tlemcen. And people just resigning, as you can see. So we can finally play. This was blocking us a lot with how we could play. Now in a second I'll be finally able to go after Africa, because West Africa is not touched at all. Do you guys would like to see something beautiful? First of all, I'll be able to fully annex Pasai finally, but most importantly, if we go here to annexing, look, 12 each month. We have 9 diplomatic reputation right now, and on this speed I'll be able to fully annex Castile in 2 years. Because the thing is, right now we are losing 10 deep points monthly, but it should still be enough. Those would be annexing this speed in the 8 years, but of course I'll lose 3 deep reps soon as I'll annex Castile. And also I will get obviously the overextension from, for example, annexing Pasay. So it's for a second that great, but this gives like a huge potential of it. And remember, it would be even better if I had influence ideas. I would have the influence ideas for the cost of the annexation, and also policy from influence plus administrative. But our build cannot allow the influence ideas, so we're playing without it. It's time to piece them out for annexation, right? For annexation, take all the money on top of that. It doesn't matter, we have already 200,000 ducats in our pocket and 6,000 income. And there it goes. I will add all of those provinces, trade centers to my trade companies now. And the next war we have to piece out is Avaria and David Ava. I just start attacking small nations that have no allies to clear the borders and just make everything look more beautiful. 18.7 thousand. This is the key war that we have to declare. So on Sweden, even the freaking coalition started forming again, which is weird. Those countries, they can join it actually. I'll probably have to attack both Amashina and Sweden, but Sweden theoretically should be enough to deal with the coalition. We'll see. I'm just going to declare on them right now on Imperialist Casus Belli, and then just going to crush them. Integration of Spain just ended, and together with that we just got 5 new merchants from the colonial nations. This is almost all blue. Beautiful, and our income is now 6.8 thousand. We'll bring that even higher, and the great power skull 20.2 thousand. This is looking way better right now. We could even take a military hegemon already, but of course we don't plan to do so. When I finish my wars over here, on top of annexing Mewar, I will probably also start annexing Wu, because both of those nations are keeping too many trade centers, and I will not be able to get the merchants from the trade nodes, as from the trade companies. Together with annexation of Castile, our coalition started disbanding. Siege of Borno, yeah, also started attacking the biggest Western African nations to just slowly get rid of them. Oh, there goes the coalition, because as you can see, 164 total war score, so we almost free annex them, but it won't be enough. Also, Sweden is good to peace out in a second, and I should kill this 14,000. But first, what we have to do is to decrease our overextension a little bit. Probably those few provinces, those 3 provinces will be enough to do so. The Industrial Revolution just started, and even started in our country. What is this even doing? PowerPoint, 100 of each. We have too much of admin points for this. Governance reform progress, and Hunyad gets possible number of buildings. That's not much. And how quick is this going right now to expand in my country? Like, for example, 0.24, London is 3.5. Nice. Paris 1.2. Okay, it should be quickly in my country, and I should spend my admin points, and I'm going to spend it on the first economic idea. I wanted to wait for that for the golden era, but we have already so much admin points that I can do that, and click this. Now that our overextension is 54, I can peace out Sweden. I'm going to take as many provinces as possible in the north. I'm going to leave the provinces right here without any protection. They don't have any access. As you can see, the sea is blocked, the direct access is blocked. So hopefully maybe they will get some rebuilds, we'll see. It won't matter that much. 120 overextension, peace them out. So right now our dev is to 20.5k, and they are just for 170% of the war score. There goes time for Machina. Beat this many to get cores of Mali plus the trace centers around. Because what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to release Mali as my vassal. You just find it. Mali, it has 9 provinces, as you can see, and I'm going to give them everything except the trade centers. They received Ayoma as the trade center because it's the capital, so it's okay. And I'm going to first of all add those as the trade centers, and then I'm going to give every single other province to Mali. They should also be a great tool in converting all of those provinces to our religions. I'm going to enforce that on them. 67 is not a big problem, we'll deal with that. And yeah, I'm just left with a couple of provinces that are trade centers, and I'll few on top of that because they can't core everything. It's time for another war with Prussians, but this time if we go to the ledger, they only have 50,000 troops, so they are not as scary as they were in the last war, for example. So let's declare, go take care of the capital, you go take care of the rebels, you can go to take care. What? They don't have any forts left. This is the fort? Yeah, they just have 2 forts to siege. This is beautiful. That was one of the quickest war, if not the quickest war of this episode. I can already piece them out after a few months. It would be 180 overextension and 600 points to core it. But as you remember, I have a bunch of vassals here that I'm going just to feed with those provinces, and by myself I'll be focusing on getting Transoxiana. Pretty quickly I can embrace the institution. It costs me nothing compared to my treasury, so let's do this, and this will be definitely useful for our manpower, which we always lack. Core all of the provinces, and this is not a problem because we are in a second ending the coring process of the Prussian land, and we are good to attack Ming. I have a lot of diplo points right now. And Saxony, as you can see, they have 3 furnaces in their hands, 1, 2, 3. So it will be more useful for us to have them, right? I'm going to start annexing them, and they should end up pretty much on time. I made some patience because this missions waiting for too much time. It's 350 admin points, and those provinces are going to be court right now, and we're going to wait until December for this one. Okay, this was probably occupied for some time. Now it is going to be finally court. 50 admin points, totally worth it. We can peace out Ming right now. I'll take this island, I'll take Macau. Maybe let's focus on taking the trade centers. This one definitely. Beijing, its capital, not going to pay extra for it. I don't have any more trade centers. So I guess right now we can focus on getting as good borders as possible. Just repair the borders. And before I peace them out, I'm actually going to attack Oirat, because normally Oirat will be protected by Ming, as it is a tributary state of Ming. So I'm just going to attack them, so Ming will not be able to go and protect this nation. Attack, and this is a die that I actually totally love. University, and see how many power points we're going to get for a single one cheap building. Of course, I'd love to build that. We just got to 75% of crown land. That means we have more absolutes from it, and we have maximum absolutes 105. That means we can take a new privilege, and it's going to be this one, which is giving me cheaper generals. The general is costing me 34 mil points right now if I want to get him, and this will be useful if I would like to get some more professionals, but I don't think it will be ever needed because my manpower is finally stabilized. Do you guys recognize event? We need better whips. Yeah, I just lost 2 stability in a row in 2 months, because 2 events in a row, and right now I'm just getting the Papal points to take that back. Because the country is not the most stable in the world, because I'm constantly playing on such overextension. But from good news, look, Mewar is being annexed right now. Integration is a slow process. We are probably even over the limit. We are just on the limit. Of course, I'll show you my buildings map mode for the town halls. Look, they are freaking everywhere, almost everywhere, and I'm of course going to build them also on the provinces that I just got from Mewar to keep it below the limit. So we're working better and better now. I'm going to fully annex Oirat. And how's my income going? 8.6 thousand is not bad, and 50 merchants in use already. As I have 2 wars to peace out at once, and for Yao it will be 92 overextension. I'm going to peace them out first. For Oirat, I don't need to take as much as possible. It's still 189% of the war score costs. So just take something around this. This is another 90% of the... this will hurt. Okay, now my overextension will be just below 200, and it's not bad. And the name placement is finally beautiful. Why we have at the same time almost 23,000 of development in the great power score. I could, to be honest, wait until January of the next year, so a few months, because then I'll be able to get the golden era and pay for all of those cores cheaper. I guess I'm just going to wait on this incredible amount of overextension. And now I can launch my golden era. It's just 50 years left. Imagine, it's already only 50 years left. We just started this campaign a second ago, so I can start my golden era. Morale of armies, all powers, because this is very important for finishing up our technologies and ideas. Good produce modifier, even more important for our income, and even maximum absolute. So maybe I'll be able to pick one more interesting privilege. If I would like to take technology already, it's 290 admin points or 300 diplo points. And to be honest, no, diplo points I'll be spending out because I'm annexing Saxony and Wu at the same time, and I also need to start annexing Khmer. 1782, 87, 90, yeah, it's too small for now. I need to wait until I start annexing it, so I'll finish all those 3 around the same time. And we also have 1 million, but not the income. But treasure, we just reached the maximum amount of it. I'm also going to switch my main stacks a little bit from 25,010. I'm going to change them to 25,020. So I'll be getting bigger bonuses on the sieges, because I have +8 maximum from the age perk, and I have finally manpower to fulfill that. And if you'd like, for example, to make it a battle stack, so 50,040, all I have to do is to combine 2 stacks in one. So it will be perfect, both the siege stack, this is the siege stack, and both the combat stack. So I took care of Beja finally, repaired my font even further, and the borders start to look really consolidated and great. And my next goal is to now take care of Bavaria, so practically the last big nation in Europe, and then I will also take care of Liege, which is taking a huge chunk of English Channel trade. And when I unite this trade finally, and I unite the European trade, so I get rid of Liege and Bavaria in fact, and maybe also Sweden, then I'll be able to switch my main trade node to English Channel, and I will start doing some flips with my merchants. So I'll be using my current trade string furthermore, which is not big, it's just 145, but thanks to just those few movements, I should be able to increase that to 15,000, maybe even 20,000. We'll see, that's my guess right now. Also, funny thing, you might need, it's just small Bavaria, it has a few promises. It's 4th great power, 560 development, and they have 170,000 of troops, so it's not just Bavaria. I was thinking of picking up Bavaria, and if I take as much as I can, it's 200 of overextension. I can't feed Saxonia furthermore because I'm already eating them. They have 3 coal provinces. What I'm going to do is to fully annex those guys. Okay. Now my overextension is 321. Of course, I'm not going to keep it. And what I'm going to do, just to double check, no mission to click here, right? Yeah, I'm going to just release another vassal, and just a smaller one, which would be not Funch, not Jungar. Yeah, there's no vassal that I could actually release here. So what I'm going to do is just to create a client state. The client state's name is going to be... I'm going to call it bucket of ducats, because we have a bucket of ducats. Alright, and just give them blue colors, it will seem that it's part of our empire. Of course, it's just a client state, so they can't take many provinces, and that's what I'm going to give them. My overextension should still be around 250. Yes, that's 255. What does it mean? It means millions of the rebels. Don't worry, I'm going to take care of them, and in April, in less than a year, I'm going to core the provinces that I just took in Africa. It's now, besides surviving those rebels, my main goal will be to hit biggest countries one after another. So get rid of all of the countries that cannot be fully annexed in one war. So for example, next our goal could be Korea, but they are Brunei. I was more thinking about Sweden, to be honest, because my truce with them just ended and I can easily defeat them. We can, to be honest, speed up our conquests and play a little bit more on the bigger overextension because of 2 reasons. First of all, we have admin points to core all of that. Second of all, I have manpower to deal with all of those rebels. And if I want to get more manpower, all I have to do, I could recruit mercs, but I don't have to. I can just get generals for 29 to be exact, mil points, so 5 of them. I will do that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It costed me almost nothing, and from that I can take 300,000 manpower. I'm going to take it. It's 1 million right now, and I'm going to build a lot of troops for that. I'm already over the limit, but does it matter? I don't think so. As mentioned, my next victim is Sweden, and if you just go to that, yeah, they're going to accept it. I'm repairing my borders furthermore, and my total levy is now 24,000. And Sweden for the next war will be for 16,000 war score cost. What? Ah, that's France. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, Sweden is for 50% war score cost. So now my next victim should be someone from the great powers. Patani is big. Navajo is that big? Ah, this is Navajo. Okay, I'm even worried than right now. Interesting. Okay, Korea is actually allied to Brunei and Ainu. Would Brunei help them? Unfortunately, yes. And yeah, oh, Brunei. Okay, I can use that to break all of those relations of Brunei, because the war score cost is probably 150, also big. And yeah, so I'm going to attack Korea, and I need to prepare my troops to fight with Brunei, mainly those guys. And I also sent one stag to the Philippines. Well, my plans to move main trade node to English Channel are postponed, because first I decided that it's a key priority to take down all of the nations that are over 125% of the total war score to annex in once, because that's the current war score that I can take with imperialism, casus belli, and we are taking them down one by one. Right now it's Korea. It looks really beautiful. I would also be able to take 29th Army technology for 275 points, but like my last idea would be plutocratic. I need to switch to Trade Republic first if I want to take this, and there's no rush with it. I want to be closer to world conquest first. Alright, this is the last piece that we are going to do today. 160 overextension. Well, that's something that we need to take, and the color here didn't change at all. But of course it's all for ourselves. Now our grid power score is 24.6 thousand, and I think we are on a perfect way to do our world conquest before the scheduled time. So there is the players map out. How it's basically almost all conquered already. Just a few parts of Africa, Central Asia, Japan and Indonesia is left to do, and of course a few provinces in Europe. So guys, the next episode will be the last episode of this series, and I'll be showing you how to go from this to 1,000,000. Alright? So guys, tune in for that. Probably in 3 days I'm going to upload it, and for today, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.